So hopefully everybody can hear us out there. This is the Longlac Walleye Masters. I want to welcome everybody back, including myself, to the wonderful town of Longlac, on the shores of Longlac. And we are looking at Chantel right now, who is our head weighmaster. If there are people watching, by all means, just give us a thumbs up to make sure that you hear all the audio.
Number 42?
Yeah. As I said, we're going to try this a little bit differently than the last time I made the trek up there.
That tells me James and Steve.
Better tell Christelle that we're live. Just so that she knows. There's just a trickle of boats. Just a trickle of boats that have been coming in so far to the scales. As it is right now, we can show you the updated list as best we can in terms of where we are with the weights. This is what we currently have right now. So for all those who are interested in keeping up with what's happening, who's doing well, we got some local favorites in there as well. Shabagaboo with Peter and Pamela. You folks are enjoying your Saturday. There, the wind is starting to pick up a little bit. They had a little bit of rain early, and I want to say it's going to be a great weekend of fishing when it comes to weather. They're not going to be dealing with great winds. They might have the odd thunderstorm. And for the most part, weather looks like it's going to be all right for the anglers. And I will say this up front to all those who are watching: my French is horrible, and my sincerest apologies for that. I wish I was more fluent. I wish I could speak both languages, and I will certainly try as I get closer to retirement. It might be something that I task myself with. But for all those who do speak English, hopefully my English is all right, and you can hear me, and all is well. All right, let's take a view from the weigh scale. All right, so here we go.
Going into 3-1. Yeah, locked in weight 786.
786. Not sure what team that is, but hopefully we'll be able to find out from the scoreboard. We can bring that back up again. Not sure who is keeping track of that or editing that for us in the background, but I want to thank everybody who's doing that. Of course, the old school and pro division are all about live scope. So if you are someone that loves your live scope, loves to use their live scope, the pro division is where you want to be. Old school is where it's just traditional 2D electronics or no electronics, and you're just out having fun. Not to say that it's not fun to win, hence the reason people who use the live scope, that's the reason, because it works. This is probably the worst thing you could possibly say, but steroids, no one would use them if they didn't work. So, no live scope. Just doesn't have the same effect on the body. All right, let's go back to the weigh scale. Let's see
Three-way.
Well, it's almost 4 o'clock.
The reweighing because it splashed out.
Yeah.
So every bag is weighed empty with a certain amount of predetermined weight water in it. That predetermined water has to remain in that tote in order for it to be an accurate measurement, because now all they're doing is adding the fish, which is a true measurement of the weight.
It's the same thing.
This one's weights on them.
Nobody going? Locked in weight. 740.
Which is a commendable weight, especially on day one. Nice to see the youngsters involved in these tournaments as well. Whether that's dad, brother, neighbor, doesn't matter. It's love. I love seeing the kids out here. I love seeing the families. We get to see more of that. If you folks have any questions, if you have anything that you want to throw at me, I'll do my very best to answer it. If I can't answer it, I know some lovely ladies that are in the background there that will certainly help me along. Appreciate that, Melissa. Anybody in the audience, if you could help out with who you recognize in view, we appreciate that as well. So we're loading up some fish here.
1-3.
No, part thing, we only have 3 fish in it. Oh, do you?
Nobody moving. Going in with 1-3. Locked in weight. 767.
767.
Coming in.
Locked in weight.
Yeah.
29 is next.
There you go.
Team number? That all 4 fish. Anything over. One.
Chantel's certainly helping us along.
Going in with 1-3.
See you're in hockey, man. Pretty ruthless.
Locked in weight. 733. Coming in.
Yeah.
Right on. Not a bad weight there. Jesse and Francis de Champlain came to this guy. I haven't seen them. Miguel, I have not seen them as of yet right now. Those two I could certainly pick out in the crowd. I will struggle to get the names and remember some of the folks that I am going to see come to the stage. But no, Jesse and Francis, I have not seen come. So to answer your question, to the best of my ability, no.
Whatever we have to put weight on.
Let's have a look at the scoreboard. So that is our scoreboard as it is right now. Again, thanks to whoever is conducting this in the background. Thank everybody for doing that. That is our those are our current leader right now, with a grand total of 9.35 pounds. In first place, Team 13, Corey Victor and Ken Casey. Right behind them is Tyler. Is that Rach? Rashade? And Jen Nill. We got Donis Bernath and Raphael Ramsey and Miguel and Samuel. Oh, we got a father and son team. Fantastic in 4th place. And in 5th place, we have James Nord and Steve Goody. Now, of course, that is the top overall scoreboard. In the old school division, this is with our live. Let's go back. I think people are weighing in. I don't want to take you away from Let's have a look.
Locked in weight, 695.
695. And anybody that knows this person, please shout out the name.
Okay, there's one in there that's ready to go. I wasn't too sure about
Team
it.
number 50, you have all the weight alive. Anything over.
Let's get that. I think that's it.
3-1. I'll have you stand with the cart, please. Nobody move. Going in with 3-1. Locked in weight, 660.
660. So that is 1 over and 3 under, based on what I was hearing Chantal say. And I will do my very best to follow along. We have another angle up there as well.
Team number 35. You have all four
Team number
papers.
35. We've heard that. I could hear that. Team 35 is weighing in.
Two. Two unders.
Weighing in 2 unders.
Going in with 2 unders. Locked in weight, 170.
170, 2 unders. Definitely have some.
Coming down.
We can only hope that they got a fish that they've already ventured in.
Team number 52. You have all 4 fish.
Team 52 is up right now. Team 52, just so you know, that is, I'll show you your leaderboard. This is your leaderboard right now. Team 52, that's Kevin Moffat and Alex Moffat as the co-angler. They have not measured,
Nobody moved.
not weighed in a fish as of right now.
Locked in weight for 3-1. 577.
577. All right, let's go back to the scoreboard and see where that puts them. I don't see them moving up the leaderboard, so it's a good weight to start with. Certainly not on pace to win per se, but if they can manage
Team number 24.
some big overs tomorrow, they can certainly redeem themselves. But again,
24.
more fish than I've caught, so who am I to judge?
There's only 3 fish in the gut so far.
We've got another team, I believe, weighing in here now. Nope.
3 big ones.
We also have a view of the lake itself, so we can get a pretty good idea of what we're looking at in terms of who's coming next. So let's flip over to the Lakeview stage and see who we've got, how many boats. Okay, so we do have quite a few boats that are starting to line up. So we're going to stay here on steady. We weren't 100% sure if it was time to go live yet, but judging by the number of boats that are getting closer to the dock, it was a good idea to start. So I will do my best to
Team
try
number
and
10.
post what I can so that you folks have a pretty good idea of what's going on. If you couldn't have made it, like I couldn't have, I was so badly wanted to be there. As I said, a big shout out, thank you to everyone in Longlac. Last year, you guys certainly rolled out the red carpet and made a lot of us, including myself, feel very, very welcome. Let's take a quick look back to what started this all. Of course, this is the day one blast off.
If you're tuning in at home, we want to thank you. Oh, there he goes. I'll take the reins from here.
Right there.
And they're off. As you can see, the anglers, once their number is drawn, they have to wave to us. We know they're acknowledging and they're in order. And that sends them on. For everybody tuning in at home, we want to thank you. Oh, there he goes.
That was the
I'll
blast
take
off.
the reins from here.
Locked in weight,
And they're off.
509.
As you can see, the anglers, once their number is drawn, They have to wave to us. We know they're acknowledging and they're in order, and that sends them on their way.
So a nice blast off. Of course, all the anglers got off without a hitch, no issues, no concerns. And now we have the weigh-in to contend with. And we've got no one, of course. I played that when there was someone on stage. I apologize for that. I will certainly get better. It would be easier if I was there to see what was actually happening. But again, I know how patient and understanding you folks are. As we have a moment, let us take a second and have the man who's looking after this, the man who is kind of the ringleader, the flagship, the guy to blame, and all of the above. No, I'm just kidding. Alan does a fantastic job corralling the entire town and all these wonderful sponsors together. And let's take a moment and allow Alan a chance to thank those incredible sponsors and volunteers.
We've got a field of 65 boats today, a little bit lower than previous years, but we're really happy with it. It's a good manageable field, and everybody's very enthusiastic. Everybody's pumped for it. We want to start out by thanking our sponsors as always, because without them, none of this is possible. And if anybody saw everything that goes on here, there's a lot of moving parts. Without that support, we can't make any of that happen. So, on our corporate side, we've got Thunder Bay Truck Center, Barino Construction, and the Municipality of Greenstone. Next, we have our Masters classification with Service Master Thunder Bay, OK Tire Greenstone, Hearst Central Garage, YNT Variety, Cloutier Contracting. On our silver side, we've got Wild Country Sports, Westland Insurance, Longlac Pizzeria, Four Winds Motel, Longlac Auto Center, J&L Enterprises, Loch Lumen Lodge, Bobby, our Bully Bus Lines, Ron Signs and Graphics, GGM, Equinox Gold, Grill 26, Greenstone Plumbing, Pelti's Gas Bars, Superior Resources, CN Rail. On the bronze side, we've got iTech Equipment, Quais Alliance, the Auto Spa, Pierre Lapointe Trucking, Long Lake 58 General Store, Schuyler Transport, Eagle Logging, Sunlight Bobby Boley, Dan Fraser Logging, MTW Employment Services, Typers Outdoors, Woodcrest Confectionery, and CPM Rental Signs and Decals. It's a long list, and that's a testament to what we put in and what we get with the support we receive. We always like to say it's not a sponsorship, it's a partnership. With all of them, we put it all together. We've got an amazing crew of volunteers. I want to thank our volunteers from the bottom of my heart. Everybody steps in, pulls their weight, does something a little extra special every time. Our jobs are there, but they're never set in stone. We always have to move and adapt. Things change quickly, and everybody just jumps in and says, what do you need? How can I help? And that's how this works. Without that, it's impossible.
And that is exactly how it works. Volunteers that do a fantastic job helping out with this event, and all the sponsors that make it happen. Big shout out, thank you. So let's go back for a second. Let's have a look at our leaderboard. This is where we have who the movers and the shakers are right now. I believe either 5 just came up or is on deck. That is our current leader right now overall, Corey, Victor, and Ken Casey. Not a lot of change right now in the top 5 for the overall, but in this old school division, in first place we got Steve Dorval and Wesley Dorval. We got Robert Mitchell and Marlene Mitchell. In third place, we've got Gary Slinger and Rob Boyd. Nice to see. In fourth place, we got Joyce and Doris. Wonderful. That's actually a woman's team. Fantastic to see in fourth place. Wow. Nice work. And in fifth, we got Kyle
Locked in weight.
Jackson.
859.
5'9".
Coming in.
All right. Let's go.
Team number 64. You have all 4 picks.
Okay, Team 64 is up. All right, we can start following this now. Thanks to whoever's coordinating the computer in the background. We can now see live who is on deck, who is actually going to be weighing in, and where they're going to be after they weigh in their fish.
3-1. I'll have you stand with her, please. 3-1. Nobody move.
So you heard Chantal say 3-1. That means 3 unders and 1 over.
Vince was on the intro. Three-way.
Okay, and just in case folks don't understand why we're reweighing, is there is a predetermined amount of water left in the weigh tote. With the bag, that becomes the zero, the virtual zero. So the fish are all that gets weighed, because everything else gets canceled out. If, for whatever reason, water gets splashed out by the fish or just gets removed by accident, Chantal, as our weighmaster, declares a reweigh. And this is what we're doing right here.
Locked in weight. 619.
619.
Any more bags?
64. So let's see where that ends up after they have their weights. And it looks like they just catapulted up to 3rd place in our old school division.
38.
Oh, nice work. Great. Got anybody on deck? Nobody's on deck. Let's have a look and see if how many boats we got along the shoreline. We got a few boats still trickling in there. It's not exactly the whole field. I do see a lot up against the break wall. So they might be just staging there. They're not actually just sitting out by the dock, but we have more and more boats now coming to shore. So it looks like the bulk of what needs to get weighed in is currently closer to the dock than it was a half an hour ago. So we got another bag. Here we go. Another bag coming to the weigh scale.
We're just gonna go in with one big fish.
One big fish.
Big fish, 403.
That's a nice fish. That's a nice over.
Coming in.
Maybe be careful on sending them out right away. That's the case.
Okay, now we're weighing the under. 3 unders, as Chantal just alluded to. This is team 38 that is weighing in right now. Just in case you folks are following along, we're doing your best to.
3 unders, locked in weight. 308.
308. So not too shabby. Not too shabby. That's a half decent start to what could be a great weekend for Team 38. 711 pounds. Doesn't change the leaderboard in terms of the overall. So technically, that team was definitely using live scope. If in fact they are in the overall division, which would be the pro division.
Team number 3.
Leaders are right now. Who have we got here? I think I heard. Yep, Team 3. So Team 3 is coming up right now. That's Dylan and Greg that are coming to the stage right now. Here we go. They're going to be weighing in some fish. They're just putting them in the settling tank. You have to observe them. Make sure. I don't even want to say it. There's no weights, deformities, any fin clipping, anything that looks out of the ordinary. And that is what is being done as these fish are being checked according to their size, because there is an under and over stop limit.
Nobody move.
Chantal says 3 and 1, so that means we got 3 unders and 1 over.
Locked in weight, 606.
606. Nice.
Incoming.
All right, let's see where they hit scoreboard. 606. And they are 3.29 pounds out of first place in the pro division. Those are your leaders currently right now.
39.
Team 13 is still in first, followed by Team 37, Team 33, and Team 5 and 21. Team 39 is up right now. That is who is coming to the weigh scale. So let's look on. See them file in from the dock.
28 on deck.
28 is now on deck. 28 is on deck. I want to thank our young volunteers who run the bags back and forth. You guys are such fans. Right up to the waist up we go.
Sailing almost got fucking hit with a boat, but then 3 years ago. By the time you're here next year, I'll bring my boat down and leave it in the water.
Yes, 3-1.
Oh, yeah.
No single.
So 3-1, just in case people are following along. 3 unders and 1. Let's find out. Team 39 started day 1 with
Locked in weight, 700.
700 right on the button. Certainly not a horrible start by any means. Given the water and the conditions, it is a bit of a walleye chop out there. We've got another team, as you see. Let's chime in. Let's find out who is at the weigh scale.
19 on deck.
Team 19 is up after this. Let's find out what this team has. This is Team 28, Kirk Brady, as well as Hunter Brady. I'm going to hope that that's a father and son team. They have 4 unders. So you can weigh in any combination. 4 unders
Locked
works.
in weight for 4 unders. 429.
429 for 4 unders. So you hope for a big over and some really nice unders. That's the goal. That is the whole goal. It's tough. That's what makes it interesting. A lot of folks say, well, let's just weigh in big hit. Forget about the unders. But it gets interesting with the unders, especially if you're a tournament director. Makes it very interesting for your participants when an under or 2 unders that are barely an eyelash away from one another in weight is the difference in taking home money and a trophy or second place.
Perfect. That's what I want to hear. So you'll have this one. I'll just have you stand.
Who forgot? This is Team 19. Ernie and Tom.
Going in with 2 unders.
2 unders. I'll have to check to see if they weighed in one earlier.
Locked in weight for 2 unders is 289.
289 for 2
Coming in.
unders. Team 11 is up next from what I can see. There's your leaderboard. In our pro division, it's still Team 13 out front. We've had a little bit of movement in, I guess it was Ed Tulin and Eliza. They managed to move into 4th. Team 11 is currently up on deck right now. Let's tune in and find out how.
There's a little one in here that has a lot of energy at Buffalo. Yeah. You want to have a little unique on that? I'll just see if I find it. Where's the other one? Oh, it's all good. Okay. We got 3 nets and one last.
You
One
do
again.
3-1. Nobody moves.
3 unders, 1 over. Here we go. Let's find out.
6-9-3.
693.
Coming in.
With that start seems to be the average weight for anybody that's able to bring in an over and 3 unders. Seems to be what we're looking at for Team 11. That's not a bad start. As I said, you have the pro division, you have the old school division. One is live scope, the other one is not. Obviously, old school is not. Folks do preserve, they do appreciate that method of fishing because it sort of brings back the fun. If you're someone that likes to win money, you're playing with live scope. And there's no shame, no harm in that.
Now 30.
It is what it is.
So 44 is coming up, 30 on deck.
Okay, so 1444. And anyone with the last name Pullen is stick and a half. So it'll be interesting to see what they bring right now. Currently 9.35 out of first place in the pro division. Let's find out how they did. Oh, this is the first time I love this team.
Oh, just too far from the dog to get it when you were trying to do.
It's awesome to see.
C'est
So far.
4 poissons, on va donner ça ici. 6-3-5.
6.35 pounds. Well done,
La
young
madame
lad.
elle va donner le petit papier.
He's awesome. That whole family is fantastic when it comes to tournament fishing. And big tip of the hat to father
Team number, monsieur?
managed to get his.
30.
So Team 30 is up next. Those are your current leaders right now. If you're following along, let's get back to the live action.
Wait till yes.
We got up next. This is Team 30. It is weighing in. Hopefully they have a good assortment of 3 unders and 1 over.
I won't be drinking all that one.
I don't believe they weighed anything in today, so nope,
Nobody move.
weighed in already. So this is what they caught on day 1, and they're moving forward with 3 and 1. Let's find out what they got.
Locked in weight, 589.
589. Seems to be the average, 6 to 7 pounds. That's what everybody seems to be bringing in. We've got some anomaly 8 and 9 pound fish, but bags of fish, I should say. But for right now, that seems to be the average, 6-7 pounds. We appreciate you fans with all the positive support in the background. Don't hesitate to leave a comment. By all means, we'll bring it live. We'll make sure that they see it. And if you folks get a chance to watch it again together, you can say, look, see, I supported you. Who we got up next? Who's waiting right now? Team 8. I do believe we know these folks.
3-1. Reweight.
Weight, water got removed by the fish. Have they weighed in anything today? Because it looks like they've got a full bag. Nope, they have nothing else weighed in. They're 9.35 out of first, which is a good start for Team 13. That is a good lead. And as you can tell, with the average bags coming in between 6 and 7 pounds, 9.35 pounds is tough. That's a tough one to beat. You got a lot of boats to go. Sylvain and Joel Bernard are up right now on deck, having their fish weighed by our weighmaster, Chantal Bernard.
Locked in weight. 7 to 8.
7 to 8. So they're a little bit above average. Again, that's a solid weight. If you're going to be in contention, that's what you need on day one. That is definitely what you need on day one. So, good job, Sylvain and Joel. All right, so that was Team 8. Didn't move into the top 5. Now we've got Team 48 up next. Find out what they weigh in, what they brought in, and I'm not 100% sure if we brought in a fish today. Let me check. Nope, no current weight right now. So this is what they caught for today. You're going to find out what I am, how their day went.
Nobody move. Locked in weight. 8 to 8.
Exceptional. That's a great day one. As you can tell, we've seen a lot of 6s, a lot of 7s. You're in the 8s. You're doing very, very well. That's a great day one. And judging by their score, 8 to 8, that's going to put them in 5th place. Look at that. 5th place in our pro division. Yep. I knew they were going to make some moves on our leaderboard, and they proved me right. All right, we got Team 49 coming up. They are also part of the pro division. They do not have previous in. They're 9.35 out of first, which means what we are going to find out right now is how good their day was.
Locked in weight, 753.
Another great bag of fish right there. That's a great start for day one. Fantastic start for day one. Let's find out where they end up on the leaderboard. They're not going to break the top 5, but still, 753 is a great start for day one. So 33 is up next. They had a big fish that they brought in. 8.61. I got a picture of that. Let me see if I can pull that up. Which one is that? Yeah, that's the one. That's their big fish that they've weighed in. Here comes their unders.
Locked in weight for 3 unders is 430.
Oof. Whoa. Okay. Well, that just catapulted them into first. Yeah, look at that. Well done. Dawson and Raphael. Fantastic, boys. That's a big lead for day one. Good for them. That's a really good lead. It's going to take quite a bag tomorrow to beat that. Well done, lads. There we go. Well, we just had a number 1.
The one bagging right now
at number 1. Let's take a look at that score once more. Let's see the scoreboard once more. Again, Team 33 just catapulted themselves in to first place. That is what they started with today, an 8.61. They just weighed in 4 pounds for their unders and are now in top spot. Team 4 is coming in here next. Team 4, they did not weigh anything in. So let us find out how they did. I don't see them on stage yet. Let's see if they're walking up. Oh.
Team number 4, you have all 4 fish. Anything over.
So they have 4 fish. Okay.
Going in with one big fish. I'll have to stamp the card, please.
All right, here we go. Big fish.
One big fish, locked in weight. 4, 5, 6. Big fish.
So that's their first fish, which was their big fish. That's a good one. 4 pounders, not a bad fish. I know folks would want 9 and 10 pounds, but it's a good start. Here we go with the unders. See what they're adding to. So this is the tough part for Chantal. As I said, she has to zero out every single weigh bag. So she puts it in the tote, obviously with a predetermined amount of water. She shakes as much of that water out because this is a true measurement of the weight. As the fish go in, because everything's been zeroed out, the actual weight is just the fish. Everything else is accounted for because it's already zeroed out. She throws the bag in. Hopefully the fish cooperate. They sit still, and we get an accurate.
Locked in weight. 4, 5, 3.
4, 5, 3. So that total, there's a good chance they might see themselves on the leaderboard. Let's see. 9.09 pounds. Yeah, they got to be. There they are. Look. In third place, Sebastian Lazo and Cedric Seguin. Fantastic lads in third place right now. Well done, lads. Well done. We're seeing a lot of movement in the top 5 now. This is getting exciting. Let's see who's up next.
Nobody move. 3, 1.
These are lively fish. Good job, anglers.
Locked in weight. 6, 1, 6.
So as you can tell, that's an average day. That is something that if you were to go out, you would hope that that's what you would catch in this kind of situation with 1 over and 3 unders. So a total of 4 fish. You can have 4 unders, but you're only allowed to 1 over, and a total of 4 fish in your live ball, at least to weigh in. You're only allowed to weigh in.
60, 6-0.
What some of these anglers do, for those who don't understand how tournaments work, they do have a tendency to bring in bigger fish early just to ensure their health, which we really appreciate as tournament directors. Yes, it's a little bit of time. Yes, it's a little bit of gas burnt, but it's for the sake of the fish. So if you can bring in a bigger fish early and get it weighed in, it's a lot better off. Plus, that bigger fish, or any fish for that matter, will hold water weight a lot better the less time it's in the live well.
Going in with 3, 1.
All right, so 3 fish, 3 unders, 1 over. Let's find out how they did. That's a half decent bag of fish.
Locked in weight. 7, 9, 4.
794. I was expecting a little bit more for that, but that is not a bad bag of fish. And again, on par. 794. They're not going to crack the top 5, but 794 is a great start and something they can build on. I would say anything less than 6 pounds, and you're gonna have a tough day on day 2. But 12.91 is quite a pace to be led right now from T33. Right behind them at 9.35, which is not right behind them, but certainly with their heels is Team 13, Team 4, Team 37, and then Team 5 in 5th place. And that is our pro division. Let's see who's on stage now. Who we got up here now? Team 6.
Locked in weight. 887.
887. There's a good bag of fish. That's a great start. Fantastic start for day 1. Up here on the shores of Longlac. Beautiful Longlac. And while we have a moment, there's nobody on stage right now. I'd just like to send out
12 and 45.
our prayers and thoughts to all those who are struggling with those forest fires up there. Can't say enough about it. I know people in the north have heard lots about it, but as it is, with everything that we've heard, it has been a human tragedy. People being uprooted out of their homes, lodges disappearing, the blink of an eye, the questions about insurance and everything else. Never mind the friggin' air quality. I think we can all do the smoke for the poor people who lose their homes and their livelihoods. Awful, just awful. So it's nice to be able to celebrate up north, as far as they are up north, just outside of Thunder Bay in Longlac, a day like this where we can get out and be normal again with everything that's going on in the background. But again, thoughts and prayers with all those who are dealing with, suffering from, and a little anxious about what the future holds with these fires that are going on. All right, Chantal, let's find out what we got.
$719.
719. Not a bad bag of fish. As I said, for day one, you're aiming for 6-7 pounds for Alain and Jean Mercier. This is what you would expect out of Team 12. The very solid sticks. They have come very close and have won the odd event here and there, but done very, very well. But 7.19 is a good pace to start for day one. But as you can tell by our leaders in the pro division, they do have a little bit of catching up to do. But, a good foundation to start with. Not a bad day of fishing. All right, let's see who we've got coming up to the weight scale right now. Looks like a half decent bag of fish, I will say that. Team 45. We got Kyle, Page, and Jackson. Not a fan. Right, let's see how they do. My apologies. Did they weigh in a fish earlier? No. So this is what they did in day one. We're going to find out together.
Four unders. Nobody move. Locked in weight. 488.
488. I believe those were all unders. Not a bad bag of unders. I must say that. But certainly going to be a little bit disappointing. You spend all that time on the water for day one, and you find yourself that far behind. As I said, if you're in the old school division, it's not a big deal. There's a lot of movement that can be had, and they are, as you can see, they are in the old school division, and it did actually put them in 5th place. So that is an added feature. I want to, the Longlac Walleye Masters. This is a great idea, having these two divisions for those who still want to just compete for the sake of having fun, for bragging rights. Be nice to take home some money, but the old school division is that for a reason. And then of course the pros, and these folks are on not just the NOWT trail, but they're on all kinds of other trails. And live scope is something that if you want to compete, you want to do well on the tournament trail, the tournament season, you kind of need it. It's tough to do well without it.
3-1.
All right, who have we got coming?
Nobody move, please.
Team 31. Let's find out what their weight is.
Locked in weight. 581.
581. Not a bad day. Not a bad day. All right, we've got bags coming up left, right, and center. Lots of fish. And again, a true testament to the type of fishery that we got up here in Longlac. Folks think that anywhere up north is just great fishing. You still got to find them. It's not a matter of just casting a line from shore and expecting to be competitive in the tournament. You could do well, and you could probably feed yourself and maybe a small family. But if you want to do well in a tournament, yeah, you're going to probably need a boat. You're probably going to need to get out with some structure. And
locked in weight. 353.
353.
Coming in.
353. So again, that is a lot of work that needs to be done by Team 16. They have a bit of an uphill battle, but again, if they were in the old school division, it would be a very competitive bag. They wouldn't be in the top 5, mind you, but it'd be a great start. But with the pros, and this is why there are pros, 12.91. Like that's quite a pace. That is quite a pace. Team 33 is got an insurmountable lead. I don't want to say it can't be beaten, because if you know Longlac and you know some of the giants that swim those waters, they can be beaten. But that is one heck of a pace that Team 33 is currently on right now. All right, let's find out. We got Team 53, Alex and Anthony, coming to the stage right now. Weighmaster Chantel going over the fish. Currently, right now, they're weighing in a combination of 3 unders, 1 over, or 4 unders. You hope for a big over. That's the goal. The goal is to get your big over. And then some nice unders.
Locked in weight, 530.
530. Again, not a bad start. Not a bad start, but certainly a lot of work that has to be done. All right. So we're about to weigh in. I'm going to assume the big fish. So those were the unders. Oh, that was big fish. Now we're weighing in the unders. My apologies. So those are the 3 unders. All right. So we're going to be building on
520.
Okay, so not bad at all. Not my sincerest condolences. I got that wrong. So they currently right now have, I believe it's 10 pounds. Yeah, 10.5 pounds, and that has now catapulted them into second spot. Great job, Team 53, Alex and Anthony, to have an over of 5 pounds. That's a good quality fish, and then to add those kind of unders to it, as you can tell, 5 pounds is a great start. Even though it's you're in second place, that is a great start. So congratulations to Team 53. Team 26 is up next. Danny Vignot and Ray Wilkins have, Danny especially has been a long time steady stick here on the NOWT trail. Usually has no problem catching fish, and has certainly been a mentor to a lot of the anglers on this trail. So, Danny, nice to see you competing.
Locked in weight, 736. Coming in.
And back in the day, 736 probably would have had Danny in the top 10 of most tournaments. But, as I said, with the electronics the way they're getting right now, it's tough. It's tough, even if you're a great stick. And Danny's a fantastic stick. Sometimes, the argument could be made that live scope is just the little bit that makes that difference between a good angler and a great angler. And that's why, unfortunately, right now, a lot of people don't like it. And I get it. I totally understand. Hard to discount those who are able to catch big fish and do well in tournaments, live scope or no live scope. At the end of the day, you got to make them bite. And for those who can do it, tip of the hat to you. Because otherwise, you're competing in it, or you're like me and you're just reporting about it. All right, let's find out what their total is. So as you can see, and Chantal doesn't mess around. At the end of the day, if the smallest of water drops out of that tote, she's on, and she wants to make sure that all these anglers have the confidence that their fish are being weighed and done so in a professional manner. Because at the end of the day, when you're spending that kind of time on the water, in the elements, dealing with big waves, wind, and anything else that you're dealing with there all day, the last thing you want to be is gypped when you come to the weigh scale by a few pounds or a few small.
Locked in weight, 804.
Good bag of fish. Nicely done. All right, let's find out where that puts them. 8.04 would have definitely put you in the top 5 of the pro division. certainly would put you in the lead in our old school division. But even with 8.04, it's not enough to crack the top 5 in our pro division. Up next is Team 18, Corey Neffen and Liam Neffen. Nice to see, again, a father and son team participating. We see more of that. Way more of that. But it's tough. I get it. It's tough. It is an investment. Tournament fishing is an investment in time and money.
Locked in weight, 637.
637. Again, solid day, average day. Great weight to work on. They will certainly have their work cut out for them tomorrow, as you can tell. Being in the pro division, 6.37. Well, you're halfway now to the lead. A little bit less than halfway to the lead. So you got a little bit of work to get up there to be in contention, but it can happen. That's the beautiful thing about tournament fishing. It can happen. We got
Locked in weight, 154.
154. I'm going to say that was the one under. Don't know what team that is, but and I don't know if they weighed in. Oh, it was team 54. So they didn't weigh in any fish earlier today, and I believe they just weighed in one under. And 1.54 was the weight. And they are in the old school division, I believe. Oh, they're in the pro division. Nicely done. All right, we got Team 1 coming up next. For those who are following along, Team 1 is on the stage right now. Currently 12.91 pounds out of first place, which means they did not have a fish earlier today. So let's find out how good of a day they had. Chantal is going to be looking over their fish. She's going to make sure they have one over, 3 under, or 4 under. Total of 4 fish if you're going to be weighed in. Again, you're looking for a good average. If you're in the pro division right now, you're going to need a good average between 7 and 8 pounds to be in contention of the top 5 tomorrow. Some would argue that you might need a little bit more. Some would say if you get lucky, you could have a little bit less and just do really well on day 2. But right now, 8 pounds would be the average to stay in contention in the top 5 for tomorrow. And that's tough. That's tough. When you're hitting those kind of totals, that's tough. All right, let's find out.
Locked in weight, 664.
Which before was a good average. That was a good average. 664 would have done you all right. 664, unless you're in the old school division, it's not going to get you to where you need to be. As you can see, the top 5 right now, average is probably 10 pounds, like just under 10 pounds. You got 3 9s, 10, and almost 13. So, yeah, quite a pace. Team 21's up next. Let's find out what Miguel and Samuel have brought in. Miguel usually brings in a bag. He's another one that's always there, very consistent. Miguel is always consistent. He's consistently always there. It's always in contention. If there's anybody that loves tournament angling, it's this guy. Not just the owner of Racksfin, not just the owner of a kick-ass boat, not just a great-looking guy and a great dude, nice family. He's got the all-around package. What he's hoping for is a bag of 13 pounds to put him in first place in the pro division and make this all worthwhile. Let's find out how he does.
Most check. 310.
And they did weigh in a fish earlier that I will show right. That's their fish from earlier. Nice, was that 636 pound fish? So they added to that total with 11 pounds. I do believe is their total right now. Find out where they are, and I believe that they're gonna. Yes, look at that, second place. Miguel and Samuel, second place with 11.28 pounds.
Locked in weight from 3
They had
unders,
that.
1.8.
Well done, well done.
Coming in.
Okay, so Team 62 is on deck right now. Let's find out. They got 6.04. Good average. That's a good pace for day one. That's what you would expect. You'd hope for a little bit more, but that's kind of what you would expect. But again,
Team number?
not a bad start for day one. Team 36 is up next. They did not weigh in a fish earlier today. Sebastian and Dom currently 12.91 pounds out of first place. We're going to find out how they did today because, as I said, they did not weigh in a fish earlier. Those are your leaders right now. They're good. That's probably going to change a lot from here on in. Here we go.
Nobody move. 332. Coming in.
332.
Here.
When you find out the scores, I mean, again, I'm not a tournament angler per se. I don't have the level of compete like as these folks do, nor do I have the means to do so. But that's got to be dejecting. When you feel like you've had a half decent day, you go out and you catch 6-7 pounds. You expect that as your average, to be in contention, and then you find out someone's brought in a 10-pound bag. Then you find out someone's brought in an 11-pound bag and a 12-pound bag. I don't know what goes through the head of a tournament angler at that point, but the fact that you continue to want to do this, continue to strive forward and compete and hopefully win, this is where now you understand why I admire tournament anglers. Because you're a different breed. You are all a different breed. And it would be very easy for the average Joe to give up, but you don't. You just don't. And even though you are looking straight up to a very tall hill, trying to climb to that leaderboard, bringing in a bag of 3 pounds, the fact that you still want to go out there and do it, no matter what the weather, no matter what the conditions, that's tournament angling. And it ain't for the faint of heart, that is for sure. All right, we got Team 65 up next. We got Ryan and Dan Secord. Dan has always done very, very well. Gentleman of an individual on the tournament trail. Let's find what they did. I don't believe they had an earlier fish. No, they did not.
So 3-1.
So here we go. So 3 under, 1 over. Let's find out how they did.
Reweight.
Just so you know, a little bit of water has been splashed with the weigh tote. If there's any water that unfortunately leaves the tote during weighing, it is immediately a misweigh and has to be reweighed.
No way.
So if you see water get kicked out by a fish tail,
Going back in.
falls over by chance, knock on wood, that doesn't happen. We will be reweighed.
Locked in weight. 492.
492 again. If you are in the amateur division, that is not a bad weight at all. That's not a bad. Sorry, I should say the old school, not amateur, old school division. That's actually a better way to say it than amateur. Old school. I like that. That's really well done. Who we got up next? Right there. Really want to thank you folks for following along at home. As I said, I'm going to try and keep you up to date as best I can without making you dizzy. Team 9 is currently on deck right now, Jonathan and Zachary. They did not weigh in a fish earlier, so this is their day total. Let's find out how they did.
Locked in weight. 833.
Great total. You know, I'd be thrilled with that. That is a great day one to start. And I'm going to say that's what you're going to have in order to be competitive, unless the leaderboard completely falls out of bed in the morning and does nothing. You start day one with 8 pounds. That's not a bad start, as you can tell. It's a heck of a pace to have a 12.91 bag right now, or an 11-pound bag, or even a 10-pound bag. But as you know, Longlac has some giants. You go and catch a really big over and catapult yourself back up into contention. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, we got Team 25 on deck right now. Let's find out what their total is.
Locked in weight. 591.
Nice total. For Brody and Alana end up. They are in the pro division. Currently ranked 37th, I believe. 7.09 pounds out of first place. We got Team 51 up next. Jacob and Sylvan. Sounds like they've got 3 unders and 1 over. Let's find out how they did.
Locked in weight. 361. Incoming.
Not a bad total. Not a bad total indeed. That's what you want. That's where you want to be. And currently right now, they've managed to move up in the 4th spot with that 9.43 bag. Our leader right now is Team 33, Dawson and Raphael with 12.91. Team 21, Miguel and Samuel at 11.28 are in second. 53, Alex and Anthony are in 10.5 in third. 51, Team 51 with Jacob and Sylvan with 9.48 in fourth. And Team 13, Corey and Ken, started the day in first place with 9.35 and have slowly started to move back. I don't know if they have finished their day, but we're going to find out. And if you're following along to the old school division, that's actually very good. Team 22, Dave and Nathan. Let's find out how they did.
Locked in weight. 658. Coming in.
Again, nothing wrong with that. That's a good total. You would be happy with that. If you were a tournament angler and you went out and caught, the situation that they're dealing with the slot limits, the 4 total fish, the 1 over, 3 under, or 4 under total, that's not a bag of fish. Anything close to 7 pounds is a good day out on the water. You would expect and hope for better, but it's not a bad day. Not a bad day at all. But unfortunately, they got some work to do if they plan to move up tomorrow in the pro division. We've got Team 23 up next with Walt Dickerson and Henry Gucci.
31. Going in with
There's movement on our leaderboard right now.
locked in weight. 518, 518.
Not a bad total. Certainly nothing to be ashamed about. They caught more fish than I did, so I'll be upset with that. Okay, so let's look at our leaderboard again. In our old school division, team 63, Steve and Wesley, 7.40 pounds. In team 56 in second with Robert and Marlene Mitchell, 7.0. So it's a close race. Team 64, Gaetien and Yolanda Orval, 6.19. Team Gary and Rob, 5.07. And team 45, Kyle and Jackson. So it's tight. It is definitely tight.
Yeah, that's the one you want to send.
You want to pass over the black deck beside you?
40.
40.
Team 40 is up right now. Team 40.
Oh, there it is. Alright. This one's ready to.
So a total of 4 fish. Looks like 4 unders. Might be wrong, but let's.
Going in with 4 unders.
4 unders. Yep. Okay.
Locked in weight. 373. Coming in.
Fantastic. Again, not a bad start. Even though they're not going to be too happy with that total because they see the uphill battle we have. But as I said, it's a great day of fishing on a great lake. It's wonderful conditions. It's not a bad day. But I know for the amount of money and time that's spent to get a 3-pound bag, you're hoping for a little bit more. I know you are. I get it. Team 47, Jody Villeneuve and Joey Raymond, they're up next. They did not weigh in a fish earlier, so we're going to find out together how their day was. It looks like the bag went in.
Locked in weight. 631.
631. Again, nothing to be upset about, nothing to be ashamed about. That is a good average bag. And you would expect to be in contention with that style of bag. But if I were to tell you that your leader is a few eyelashes short of 13 total pounds, it's almost double the pace. And that's the wonderful thing about fishing. You just
Numbers I got
That's
17. All 4 fish. Anything else?
17.
yeah, I already could.
Boche, father and son, I'm going to hope as well.
Going in 1 big fish.
Weighing in 1 big fish right now. They have not weighed in anything, so we're going to find out together how their day went. Good size fish. That's a nice fish.
How much I got?
You guys could send this.
474.
474, nice fish.
474 coming in.
Appreciate that, Ryan. Thanks, man. A lot of work behind the scenes with Christelle and Alan. Christelle have worked very hard to get these camera positions set up. And I'm doing as little talking as I possibly can to keep the live action focus, because these anglers are putting on quite a show. Here are the 3 unders.
Locked in weight.
That one's good.
374.
Okay, so not a bad start at all for Team 17, Jacob and Luca, who always seem to do very, very well, but 8.48, to think that that's the kind of weight that you're going to need in order to compete come day 2, that's a heck of a day 1. That's a really good day 1, but you're going to need it, unfortunately, as you can tell by our current standings in our top 5. Like an 8-pound bag doesn't even make the top 5. You can only imagine what you're going to need come tomorrow in order to win this bad boy. But as I said, 8.48 is not a bad total, and it's going to make for a great night. Catching up on what the day was like, what you need to do to be better for tomorrow. But as I said,
529.
nothing to sneeze at. 8.48 is a great bag of fish. Fantastic bag of fish. We had some beautiful fish caught earlier today. Quickly go over it. Jacob and Sylvain. Away.
Yeah, I
5.51. And Miguel and Samuel, who we just had up on stage, 6.36 pound fish, 1821. We also had a 4.46 that was weighed in by Team 62. And Cashton. And this big boy, 8.61. And they're out there. Like, you know, it's not unheard of to catch fish this size out on Longlac with the forage space that they have. They're feeding heavily on white flaky fish. There's a lot of them. Ooh, it's so beautiful too. Look how dark those fish are. What a great catch. Beautiful fishery Longlac is. Fantastic to have this opportunity. And we've got Team 55 currently right now on stage. Chantel is going through their bag and their day. I don't believe they weighed anything in on day 1. Let's just take a look at the leaderboard, and no, they did not weigh anything in. So this is we're going to find out what kind of day they had together.
Well, I remember the one year I was doing it with Donnie.
For all of you out there that are watching, I know this is beaten on far too much, but it certainly helps with the algorithm. If you can give a like, a share would be wonderful too, but if you can give a like, it just improves the algorithm, improves the reach, and gives these folks Longlac a pat on the back they're due for putting on this.
That's when we had the tank down there.
All right, all that work. And this is, you know, the dedication. This is we are dedicated. We have a strong team that are dedicated to get it right. They don't want to jip these the smallest amount. They work just too darn hard to get a full bag of 4 fish. And the last thing we want to do is to take any of that weight away from them. That's your current leaderboard for both the pro and the old school division. If you are cheering on anyone, make sure you leave a comment for them so that they can see it. When they look back,
Wait, 677. Coming in.
677 for Team 55. 677 Team 55. Again, great bag of fish. Nothing to be ashamed about. But unfortunately, as you've been following along, it's not going to get it done for day 1. When you have 12 and 11 and 10-pound bags out there,
Team 20,
4, 5,
right?
and 6-pound bag is just not going to get it. It's not enough. It's tough to say on day 1. That's tough. But again, it can all fall apart for these teams tomorrow. And lo and behold, those who are in the 5s and 6s may catapult themselves up with an 8-9 pound fish. And
Locked in weight. 769.
that's a good bag. That's a great bag. Fantastic bag for Kyle and Denny. Team point 769. And unfortunately, it doesn't crack the top 5. I dare say it probably puts them close to the top 10. But top 15 for sure. But again, as I said, it's tough to swallow when you go out and you catch a 7-8 pound bag and you don't even make the top 5. That's tough to swallow. But you know that's a solid bag of fish.
One.
All right.
3-1. 3-1. Nobody move. Yeah.
What team is this again? I believe Team 20 was just up, so I might be wrong. Oh, 3, Team 46. Thank you, computer person. I'm not sure who it is that's controlling the keys behind me there, but thanks for keeping us up to date. Team 46 currently have 0 as their weight, which means they haven't weighed in a fish earlier today. And as I said, we've had some gems that were weighed in earlier that we can rifle through here quickly just to show you what kind of fishery Longlac is and what you can expect if you do own a boat and you're able to get out on the big water of Longlac. And it's quite a lot. It's quite a long lac.
824.
824 for Team 46. That's a solid bag of fish. 824. Nice bag of fish. But again, doesn't crack them in the top 5. That's got to be devastating. Anyway, great pace for day 1. Certainly in the hunt for day 2. No need to be ashamed with that. But they will be a little disappointed that they didn't crack the top 5 with that bag of fish. As they should. Who we got here? Team 58. So these folks are your hometown heroes. Darius is well known on the InterWT trail. Seems like anytime he wets a line, he catches a personal best or catches something that makes the news. He's quite a talent on social media, and because he hasn't weighed in a bag of fish earlier or a fish at all earlier today, we're going to find out how his day went.
Locked in weight 725.
Not a bag of fish for a hometown hero. Fishing in his own backyard. He's got all the townspeople cheering him on. It's a nice feeling. And it's a nice feeling to be able to bring Bag Willie to talk about to the stage. Stage right now. 43. Adam, Sarah. I'm going to hope they're a husband and wife team. Still a husband and wife team. I guess they could be brother and sister. I never thought of that. Father and daughter, I suppose. Yeah.
Locked in weight 516, 516.
516. Regardless, good solid bag of fish. And they should be happy with that total. I know they're not going to be, especially if they're in the pro division. They're off the pace a little bit, but they catch a big Longlac walleye, a big Longlac monster tomorrow. They'll be right back up there. Wait to see. Let's take a look at the field. Let's find out if there's any more boats still looking to come. Let's look what the docks look like. Oh yeah, there's still quite a few boats still out there. So we're going to be here for a little while. Sorry, folks. All right.
Locked in weight for one big fish 405. One big fish. Oh, I dropped the weight.
41. For pound 4.05 pound bag, Jesse and Jean Francois. A little off the pace right now, but they have a half decent bag tomorrow.
Locked in weight 451.
Okay, so I'm going to assume they're adding to this. Yes, because that's their total. It is 8.56. So they weighed in a big fish and then some unders and brought their total up to 8.56. That's a fantastic total. Day 1. I believe we've got 65 boats that have signed up to participate in the Longlac Walleye Masters Championship. which is their
That
tournament
sounds like it.
the NOWT of many.
Oh,
Team number?
This looks like Francis and Jesse. Yes, it certainly does. They need no introduction.
Spain, Valencia.
Not weigh in a fish, although they currently have what looks to be a nice bag of fish. So let's not talk. Let's be quiet and find out how good their day was.
Locked in weight for one big fish. 522.
Wow.
One big
That's
fish
a
coming in.
good fish. Way to go. Way to go. Team Des Champlains. These guys are always in the top 5. Top 10 for sure. So they just weighed in a big fish over 5 pounds. Let's hope they got 3 decent unders. With that fish, let's quickly look at the leaderboard. 5.22 pound with the one fish. There's 7.69 pounds out of first. But, let's hope they end up with some nice unders and get themselves at least in the top 5. Let's follow along. Hammers, you are. Yeah, well said, man. Okay, let's listen. Freeway. The suspense. I swear sometimes Chantal just does this to keep us in suspense. Love all the positivity that you folks are. I mean, love all this stuff. Love all the great comments. And I know that the anglers appreciate it as well.
Well done, Alan. One more bag.
All right, so they brought in one big fish. This is slightly over 5 pounds. These are their
Locked in
unders.
weight for 3 unders. 436.
Wow.
Come on. 4501.
All right, that is the last boat to weigh in.
Nice.
Jesse
Yes.
and his camera of an old man. Jesse and Francis Lee Champagne, 9.58 pounds.
You got on so quickly, man.
Okay.
So over leaderboard again, Team 33, Dawson and Raphael, 12.91 are in lead. A very substantial lead, I might add. 11.28. Just behind them is Miguel and Samuel. And, you know, let's face it, a good under would get them back on in contention of the lead.
I can't hear you yet, Scotty. I don't know
Anthony,
what's going on here.
10.50 are in third. Jesse and Francis, who you just saw, 9.58, currently are in fourth and still have a chance of cracking number 1. And as is Jacob and Sylvan with 9.43, Team 51. And then, of course, our old school division in 5th place, Team 45, Kyle and Jackson, 4.88. Team 2 is in 4th place with Gary and Rob, 5.07. 3rd place,
Can you hear me,
1664, Gaetian and Yolanda, 6.19. 2nd place, we got Robert and Marlene. And then, of course, in top spot, Team 63, Steve Dorval and Wesley Dorval, 7.40 pounds. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed doing it. Look forward to doing this again tomorrow. I want to thank everybody, including the volunteers, sponsors, and everyone that has a hand in getting this done. At the end of the day, if it wasn't for whatever it was that you did, that you're going to be thanked many, many times after, including today, tomorrow, and then coming days. It's that hard work, that dedication, that kind of support that makes this all happen. So look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. And do we have a special guest that's going to be joining us? Let me see here. Is that Alan? Have we got Alan with us?
Yes, sir. I'm a little bit blown away by all the technology here. This is some fancy stuff.
How we doing, Alan?
I'm doing good, doing really good. We've had an incredible day. You know, the forecast wasn't looking good for us yesterday, and by the graces of the good Lord, things really turned around for us. Well, especially for the anglers. I mean, us on the grounds, we're used to it, and we'll handle whatever comes our way. But for them, all of them out there, we really hope that things come together like it did today.
Alan, as I said, take a little bit of accolades because you deserve it, my friend. A pat on the back. You're definitely one of those individuals in our industry that are doing some great things, and up in our North Country that right now have been hit so darn hard with these forest fires. It's nice to be able to celebrate an event like this that can go on, can see a townspeople come together, and the buy-in that you have. I mean, talk about long-winded. I almost ran out of tape for all the thank yous that you had earlier today at Blast Off. But tell us a little bit about the team that you've assembled and what they mean to you to get this event done.
I got to watch how I touch on it because it tends to bring tears to my eyes. If I'm being completely honest, it's we worked darn hard for this, and the team came together very what's the word? Very naturally. When we started building this, it was just an idea me and Curtis Griffin had, and we approached some people, and it just evolutionary grew. We put the committee together, and it's true what they say in that Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. The support came, the encouragement came, the partnerships. Like I said before, calling in sponsors isn't really the way I like going. It's partnerships, and wow. And year after year, they show up, and they don't just show up, with financial support or prizes or whatnot. They show up. A large amount of the people that are helping out here on the grounds are our partners or sponsors. They show up and they're here to mingle and get some time with the anglers, and they end up jumping in and helping out. Well, you saw it last year. It's just grassroots. You're here. You want to be part of it. It's encouraging. It's exciting. And it really brings our small town to life. It really, really does. And I couldn't be more grateful to everybody that's involved. The team that we've put together is incredible. Really, really incredible. There's always going to be some hangups throughout the day. And it's just, what do you need? How can we do it? And it just the way it works. I'm at a loss for words, and I'm a man of many words.
Well, I'll certainly help you out. With some of the totals that we saw, and we sort of started slow out of the gate. We had some big fish that came to the shore early this morning, and it looked like it was going to be one of those big bites again. Longlac is famous for big fish, and if there's anything that I got to see on full display last year was the number of double digits that you have running around in that fishery. But with the quality of fish that we saw early, we were expecting to see some really big totals. From what we ended up witnessing, it seemed like a 7-8 pound bag on average is what's going to help you sort of stay in the hunt for day two, which is a little disappointing for those who are catching 6s and 5s. But based on what you're seeing firsthand, and this fishery just as well as anybody, Alan, is this what you expected for day one?
It's hard to really say, but I was on the dock today holding boats and talking with the anglers, and not too many of them came in with a confident attitude. They all said it was a tough day of fishing today, and very uncharacteristic for Long Lake is what I was being told. Now, we did have a change in winds today. So this morning we had a strong south wind, and they called for it. The forecast was right on it. We ended up with a midday west wind, and then we finished off the day with a northwest wind. So I'm not one of those top anglers that really knows how to read into all of that, but I think that's something that does tell a story because it did indeed swing, and the anglers out there were talking about it and how they felt it affected them. So, I think still tomorrow it's anybody's game, and for me, being on the show side of the thing, that's exciting, and that makes it so much more anticipation. The top 10 tomorrow is going to be really spectacular. I hope those that can't come down, or those that can come down, absolutely come down here. Try to get here between 2:30 at the latest, I would say. And if you're not able to be on the grounds, I strongly, strongly encourage you to tune in live, because I have a feeling it's going to be a spectacular show tomorrow.
Absolutely, and I couldn't agree more, Alan. As I said, one thing that I am truly honored is the ability to share the stage with you and your team. You guys put on one heck of a show, and we do look forward to tomorrow. And if there's anything that I can guarantee is you are going to have quite a crowd. The facility itself, Alan, as I said, you've got the ramps right there. You are just housed on such a great point, a great part of town. You couldn't ask for a better venue, and hopefully, knock on wood, the weather continues to cooperate. You guys have been lucky, and it doesn't seem like the winds are going to get too intense tomorrow. So I don't expect them to have to fight the 4 and 5 and 6 foot waves that we saw last year during the championship. So you got that going for you. But what can you expect if you're an angler? And I know you were on the dock and you were a little preoccupied. What are some of the things that you can quickly expect for tomorrow if you were a tournament angler and participating?
Well, again, it all depends on the winds. It all depends on the currents, the thermoclines. These are all the things that I've been told. I'm one of those anglers. I go catch a meal, and to be honest, on Long Lake, we're so lucky. A jig and a minnow, 20 minutes, half hour, you got your 4 fish. You can go eat some at home. But when we're speaking of it like that, yeah, I think the anglers are really going to have to buckle down. They're going to have to build some good strategy, come into this with a game plan, and be willing to adapt. Through the years of doing this, that's one of the things that I've learned with talking with the people. When you're finding that something isn't working for you, you better be quick to adapt. And the one tournament I did, the one thing I learned was you cannot discredit your co-angler. When your co-angler is saying, look, I think we got to do this, it's probably a good idea to do it. Give it a chance. So I think there's going to have to be some adaptations made. I think that they might have to step outside the comfortable zone. You know, we're not seeing the big numbers, that the big fish that we've seen last year. So I think myself, it's maybe changing the strategy, maybe switching things up, try some new spots that you might not have hit. You know, when you got pre-fishing going on, that really changes things as well. But, you know, again, being a guy that fishes for my meals, I was out in the beginning of June, and we found that the fish weren't where they usually were that time of year. So I'm believing that there's a change in it this year for some reason, whether it was the way the runoff went for the spring. But the fish are definitely changing in what everybody's used to. So I think it's going to be adaptability is going to be the key for success in this one.
Totally agree. And quickly, just before we let you go, I got to say something about these two divisions. I love how you named it. You know, a lot of people say pro and amateur. I love the pro division and the old school division. I think that was very well named. I love that. Just give us a quick explanation of the two classifications.
Well, actually, Scotty, for us this year, we are still all one division. However, we do have a prize for the top yielding team that does not have the live scopes. So without the live scopes and the fancy camera type adaptions. Okay, so we've got 7 teams, I'm told. I got good backup here. I'm told we got 7 teams that are competing in that portion of it for that prize. And so when we looked at it, you know, we all talk about the new technology, the new this and the new that. So last year when we were coming up with names for prizes, it just, I can't remember if it was me or somebody else, but it rolled off the tongue that it was going to be the Old School Angler Award. So that's, for this year, that's how it's going, is it's just a separate prize for the top yielding team that does not have the lives. And then next year, the LWM will be doing 2 absolute separate divisions of pro and amateur. And I think, Scotty, with you, you know, dubbing it that today, I think we'll give you the credit, because I think that's the way we're going to roll it off our tongues next year. It will be the pro division and the old school angler division.
Well said. Well said, pal. Well said. I love it. The old school division. I didn't know what it meant necessarily, but I knew it had a component of live scope, but I think it's very well named, and I couldn't think of a better group to come up with that name than you guys. With all that being said, what's on tap for tonight? Any live entertainment? Any stupid human tricks? Anything that we should expect in the news in the morning?
Well, I mean, I'm going to have a mic in my hand at some point. So, I mean, however you want to title that one, I can leave that one up to you as well. But no, we've got our steak dinner going on tonight. Today during the day, we had our kids event, which was a real hit. I think it was even more grandeur than last year. We had large numbers, which was excellent to see. You know, it's nice to see the community coming in with their kids and the kids having the laughs and the giggles going around. It really warms your soul. And tonight we have our steak dinner going on. We're going to have Grill 26s here cooking as well. If anybody wants to come down, I believe we ordered quite a few steaks, so we'll be doing, I think it's $25 for a steak dinner. You get your raw steak and all the fixings. You go in, we got barbecues this year because of the fire ban. We couldn't do the charcoal, so we've got propane barbecues. And you come down, you cook your steak, and you get your salads. And I don't even know what all the fixings they have, but I know the ladies do it very well over there. We will have some music going on the PA system, and obviously cold drinks, beer gardens open. So if you're in the area, come on down, take part, get some mingling in with the locals and with the anglers. It's going to be a good time. And
with tomorrow,
no big storm, Scotty. No big storm. We're
Yes,
not holding down tents
absolutely.
this year.
Absolutely. I mean, last year that was really something to witness. Won't bring it up because it's water under the bridge. But at the end of the day, you want to talk about watching a group of people adapt to a horrific situation that could have been a lot worse. It was you guys. And thankfully, nobody got hurt. Thankfully, not a lot got broken. But needless to say, you want to see a team that jumped to, they couldn't get out of their chairs fast enough to lend a helping hand. Was certainly your group. With that being said, of course, day 2 starts tomorrow. What time should folks tune in or be down at the park tomorrow to make sure that they capture everything?
Well, boats will be taking off just like this morning. There'll be the first boat taking off at 7:25. The remainder of the field will be being launched off one at a time, starting at 7:30. If you want to come down and take in the views, I would be here probably no later than 7. But do remember, if you're coming down to the grounds, try to park away from the grounds and walk your way up. Unfortunately, with all the boat traffic, there's a lot of logistics happening in the morning, and it is quite tough to navigate if you're trying to come in with a vehicle. But if you want to walk down, and I mean, anywhere along the water in Longlac right now in the mornings, if you find a spot where you can see the lake, you're going to see those boats taking off, and it is quite the sight. As for the events going on throughout the day, there's always fish coming in. You can tune in live, or you can be here. Sherry and the Grill 26 crew are here cooking the hot eats and unreal food. Unreal. Everybody's talking about it. And then again, in the early afternoon, we're going to have the beer gardens opening up. The fishing ends at 3. So if you can be down here, like I said, 2:30. And again, try not to clutter the downtown areas. These trucks and trailers do have to make their way through, but make your way down, and it's fixing to be one heck of a show.
Right on. Alan, thanks so much for allowing us this time. I know you're a busy man. There's a lot of moving parts, and you have your hand in all of it. So, again, thanks for taking a second just to sit down with us. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Look forward to seeing what's going to be unveiled tomorrow. Lots of anglers are in the hunt. Lots of fish still to be caught. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a spectacle, and a big tip of the hat to you and your team for putting on yet another great show.
And Scotty, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for taking part. It means the world to us to have you on board, my friend.
Right on. I look forward to it tomorrow. You guys do a fantastic job. Now go enjoy yourself tonight. It's well deserved, and we'll see you bright and bushy-eyed and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed tomorrow.
You betcha, my friend.
Okay, dude. You take care of yourself.
Bye now.
Peace.